player props here on PrizePicks for Tuesday, May 2nd. Before I get started, there is a link in the description below. You can sign up for PrizePicks, 100% deposit match, or you can use promo code TUFF. There is a Discord link in the description where the main server is completely free. We do also have the Patreon link in the description where I post all the plays here that I'm making on PrizePicks for each given sport that I do play. Again, also need to mention I'm not a gambling expert and this is not financial advice. Simply just plays I'm personally looking at making, hopefully give you guys some insight and analysis to then make your own player prop decisions here. But let's not waste any time, you guys. Let's just get right into it. So yesterday, I want to recap yesterday. We did hit on the Jason Tatum 4.5 assists. He finished with 5 assists. And then the Kevin Durant, we had him over 48.5 fantasy. Completely sold us, you guys. He probably had one of his worst shooting performances into the playoffs like ever. He shot 10 for 27, 2 for 12 from 3. He still finished with 45.1 fantasy. Again, if he makes one more of those threes, one or two more shots. He took 27 shots. He only made 10 of them. For Kevin Durant, highly efficient player. Really, really sold us, but I'm going to live with that L, honestly. I'll take that play time and time again. At 48.5, he finished with 45. He shot 10 for 27, missed 17 shots. We'll live with that one, but I got two plays here that I'm targeting. Obviously, it is Taco Tuesday. Honestly, the Jalen Brunson taco is not the greatest taco. Honestly, in my opinion, I'm going to be playing the over on it because there is odds on the 24.5 points. He did have 25 points in game 1, but he is a little bit banged up here, and Julius Randle is questionable to play as well. But I'm going to be playing it on the over, just so you know, you guys are going to ask. I feel like we have to discount it, almost 4.5, over 4 points it's discounted, so going to be playing the over on that. But I got two plays here that I'm targeting, one from each of these games. We got Miami versus the Knicks and Lakers versus the Warriors. This is game 2. This is a game 1 here. Should be some close games in my opinion here. But yeah, let's not waste any time. Let's just get right into it. So the first play that I'm targeting is going to be a fantasy score. And I do like Bam Adebayo over 36 fantasy score. It's actually not at 36.5. It is at 36. Again, there is a chance maybe if Jimmy gets ruled he's going to play. That he could play. I could see him not playing. I think it's 50-50. I know he did participate in shoot around, but if any of you guys saw the pictures of his ankle, he did look pretty banged up here. Which brings me to my first, piece of research here is this tweet by Brian Fonseca NY. So Bam Adebayo when Jimmy Butler was heavily compromised or inactive during the 2022 playoffs. These are some lines from 4 games here. 2011, 4, 1, and 1. With 7 from 11 from the field, 6 for 8 from the free throw, 31, 10, 6, 4, and 1, 9, 6, and 2 with a blowout. I think he only played like 25, 26 minutes in this game, and then 18, 10, and 1. So he's shown in the playoffs last year that, he can play at a high level and kind of be the hub and the focal point of an offense here. We take a look at his last 5. He's hit this in 2 of his last 5. His 3 misses, 26.6 in game 1. We just really wasn't engaged defensively, in my opinion. I think he played well. I think, what did he finish with in game 1? Game 1, he finished with 7 for 13 from the field, 16, 8, and 2. No defensive stats, 2 turnovers. So not the greatest game for Bam Adebayo, but a decent game. I mean, they did win the game here. But taking a look at Bam Adebayo at 36 flat, right? We look at Jimmy Butler, questionable for this game. He did participate in shoot around. Take a look at Bam Adebayo. Fantasy score game log this season when he logs 37-plus minutes. Now, he did play 37 minutes in game 1. We saw him play, pretty high minute rates here in playoff series against Milwaukee. Again, there was some blowout games. In that game that did go to OT, he did play 40 minutes. But Bam Adebayo in games when he plays 37-plus minutes, right, this season, the hit rate to go over 36 is extremely high. We take a look at this. He's hit numerous times. We're talking about, let's just do this season, actually. And again, you have to pay for stat moves now, guys. Keep that in mind. Taking a look at this, we take a look at his last, I don't know how many games this is going to be, but we're taking a look at this season, right? He's hit the over on this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 19 of 25 times this season when he plays 37 minutes. He has hit the over on this line. You can see the hit rate is pretty generous. He played 38 minutes against the Knicks back in February 2nd and finished with 56.3 fantasy. But in this game, there was no Mitchell Robinson. So I think Mitchell Robinson has kind of been, that factor on Bam Adebayo that's kind of affected him negatively as far as him being able to produce fantasy score lines here. But I do like Bam Adebayo to bounce back in this game. Even if Jimmy Butler does play, he's going to be heavily compromised, in my opinion, after seeing what that ankle looks like. If we take a look at Bam Adebayo's fantasy score game log without Jimmy Butler, this has an extremely high hit rate as well. You can see a 44, 55, 50, 47, 36, 40, 38, 43. So this has literally hit the over on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of his last 12 games without Jimmy Butler. He has hit the over on this. Again, if Jimmy Butler doesn't play, I think this is going to bump up. If he does play, I think it could probably stay the same. I think that's I don't know what PrizePicks thinking here, but at 36, I do like the value, in my opinion, at 36 flat. We take a look at fantasy points per minute for Bam Adebayo. Historically, or this season, is at a 1.14 fantasy points per minute. Again, we should probably see him play 37 plus minutes tonight, which would, well, based on his season fantasy points per minute average, put him over this line. And then we take a look at the odds here. His PRA is over 29.5 on DraftKings to go over minus 135. He's at juice on the over on pretty much every sports book to go over 29.5. On PrizePicks, I believe his PRA is set at 30 flat. So I'm taking fantasy score here with the hope he can get us some defensive stats here. But just the hit rate this season when he plays 37 plus minutes, the hit rate without Jimmy Butler, how he's played historically in the playoffs when Jimmy Butler is compromised or inactive, is extremely high. This would be a 3 out of 4 games he would hit the over on this one. So I like Bam Adebayo over 36 fantasy points tonight against the Knicks in a game that they're obviously trying to win. And if Jimmy Butler's ruled out, I think we get value. The second play is going to be Austin Reeves, and I like his over 4 assists. I just think this is way too low, in my opinion here. We take a look at Austin Reeves. His game log this season, including the playoffs when he plays 34 plus minutes, he's pushed this line or better in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of his last 10 games. Extremely high hit rate at 4. I don't know why this is at 4. It's probably going to maybe get bumped up to 4.5 here. We take a look at his game log this season versus the Warriors. In 19 minutes back here in February, he had 4 assists in 19 minutes. And then here in March 5th, he played 28 minutes and had 8 assists. But we take a look at Austin Reeves in the playoffs over the last 5 games. He's played the second most, or tied with LeBron with the most minutes on the team. And over the last 3, has actually played the most minutes on the team at 38.7 minutes per game. We know Darvin Ham loves to play Austin Reeves. Me being a Laker fan, I watch these games from start to finish, and Austin Reeves is really that secondary ball handler, third ball handler, whatever you guys want to call him, a top 3 ball handler on that team with D'Angelo Russell and LeBron. We're seeing LeBron's assists, I believe, is at like 5.5. D'Angelo Russell's at 5.5. So I think we get value here at Austin Reeves at 4. We take a look at Austin Reeves. Like I said, game log this season, he's pushed this line in the last 2 games versus the Warriors. Obviously, now he's a starting lineup. We take a look at the odds here. He's listed at 4.5 on every sports book, even listed at minus 106 at 4.5 to go over. So we get that 0.5 discount with massive push potential here. We take a look at the last last 15 games. When this line is set at 4, he's pushed this line or gone over 10 of the last 15 times when the line is set at 4. We take a look at the potential assists for Austin Reeves through those 6 games in the first series against Memphis. He had 10.8 potential assists, converting 5 of those. So he averaged 5 assists per game in those 6 games against Memphis. Had 10.8 potential assists per game here. We look at the matchup. Golden State obviously loves to play fast. The Lakers love to play fast. Both these teams top 4 in pace, so there should be a ton of back and forth, ton of scoring opportunities for both teams, which would result in a ton of assist opportunities for Austin Reeves. And then we take a look at Austin Reeves as a shooting guard. The Warriors on the season, during the regular season at least, allowed this 8th most assists to the shooting guard position, which again is considered an easy matchup on RotoWire here, or Fantasy Pros here at 5.23 assists per game to the shooting guard position. So I like Austin Reeves over 4 assists, Bam Adebayo over 36 fantasy score. Let me know in the comments below how you guys feel about these 2 plays. Drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and as always, let's cash.